Hello, Taurus. Welcome to the Sunflower Path. My name is Jess. I'm going to be looking at Mercury Retrograde for you from November 9th to the 29th. We are currently in the pre retrograde, so things may already seem strange or off in communication, travel, and technology. Mercury retrogrades, they kind of force us to reassess our friendships, relationships, the way we work. There's a lot of false starts and shakeups in our foundations. And because this retrograde is happening during the US holidays, I believe that's Thanksgiving, we want to avoid awkward or heated debates and plan for delays. And obviously, this is not the best time for contracts. Mercury retrograde will begin in Sagittarius, so it'll be going through your eighth house of sexuality, power, shared resources, and joint accounts, and anything dealing with the occult or paranormal, even your relationship with death, in case there are some beliefs around that topic that need to be reevaluated. Then once it goes into Scorpio on November 18th, it's going to go through your seventh house. So this is your relationships, business partnerships, legal contracts, and of course, we also have a Uranus retrograde going through your first house starting November 7th. So I'm going to look at what you need to revisit during the Mercury retrograde, what you need to release, what are unfactors that you need to be aware of, what precautions can you take, what needs a rest, and what will keep you in balance. I will also pull some oracle cards here for some additional messages. Okay, we're going to start with these three cards first, as things that need to be revisited during this Mercury retrograde. Starts with the Tower reverse. So the Tower reverse is usually a catastrophe or chaos that you may have avoided the first time around. Um, it may have been change that you did not want to accept or begin, but it's showing up as like this is necessary change that needs to happen. I know as a fixed sign, that's not something we always want to hear, but there's a major upheaval or a period of rebuilding and recovery that you need to revisit during the Mercury retrograde. And since that's going through at first your eighth house, I'm wondering if that's anything dealing with a loss, especially since this comes up next for what you need to release. And that is grief and any emotions that you have not processed. It could be that you may have gone through a separation, a death in the family, or perhaps with friends, a transformation with a friendship that you may have lost, a heavy, it's a heavy loss. Is what I'm like. This comes out as grief as well, regret or shame, maybe even guilt that you haven't processed yet. It was like a crisis that happened, um, but you resisted it. You may be clinging to unhealthy relationships or unhealthy situations like a dead end career, um, that you refuse to acknowledge needs a change because change is hard for fixed signs. Um, you may be experiencing a slower breakdown of structures in your life because you see here with the tower, everything is falling apart here, even from the top to the roots of the structure of the buildings. And I think this is a tree. It is a tree. So even the roots are rotting, and you may have avoided that the first time round. So there's a slower, less drastic approach, maybe. So maybe it's a bit softer this time around, to revisit these things that were harmful in the past that created a sense of loss and grief. But once this crisis has passed, you're in the process of rebuilding again, which comes up here as the unknown factors that you need to be aware of. So, as this is also associated with earth signs, the Knight of Pentacles brings stability. Uh, if you work really hard for what you want, you'll achieve it. Like if you see here, this night, well, I don't know about that lighting, but there's like these three crystals here in front of him that he's pursuing. And because this dragon is an earth dragon, they move very slowly. So you are very slowly but surely moving towards your goal in terms of um, building the foundations that may have fallen apart earlier. It's more practical, reliable, and an efficient way of building the structures that may have fallen apart previously. So just stay focused and be persistent to achieve those long-term goals, which I think that's a forte of Taurus, is that they slowly build up to where they want to go, and they're very persistent in a practical way. So let's see what precautions you can take and what needs rest. And what will keep you in balance? Oh, all reversals. But you have two knights here. 2 cups, a 5. I think that's number XVI. I don't remember what number that is. Someone will remind me. But I don't see anything repeating other than these knights. So the 7 Wands reverse as a precaution you can take during this Mercury retrograde. Is not giving up, because upright, this usually means to defend yourself, your values, and who you are as a person by outsiders. The things that you care about. If you can see, this fox is protecting her young by a badger. But reversed, it might be saying that you need to be cautious about being overly defensive and struggling unnecessarily. Like, don't create problems when there aren't any. let go of having to face everything alone. Perhaps you have people who have your back, but you may not realize it. There could be a great feeling of feeling like you're misunderstood. Like maybe there were miscommunications that caused conflicts, um, that you may have to clear up. And just maybe you're feeling like you're constantly being under attack. Um, I keep putting it down, putting that down and picking it up as I get new like messages that come through. I'm wondering if that's something you're also doing. Like you're picking up a situation, deciding about it, and then rethinking and reanalyzing only to pick it up again and overthinking it, and then you're putting it back down. um, so that might be something you're also doing, that you're having the same arguments over and over again. You're putting it down and then picking it up again. Uh, Perhaps because you feel like you have to prove yourself or prove your point to someone who's not listening to you. Um, you may feel defeated though, like you're just tired of having the same arguments over and over again. I just want to, as this is a precaution to take, because it's happening during uh, Thanksgiving. Yeah, because by November 18th, Mercury retrograde will be going through your seventh house, which is partnerships and relationships. And that goes into Thanksgiving because I think that's at the end of November. So there might be a lot of arguments with family members, arguments with your spouse or significant other that you're just tired of having. So there's a lot of struggle there, a lot of over defensiveness is what I'm thinking of, and that you might be becoming almost stubborn about it, perhaps, because this is all about holding your ground, to protect yourself. So maybe you're just stuck in that same kind of pattern of arguing over the same things over and over again. What needs the rest is the Two of Cups reversed. Hmm. As I rest. Well, upright, this is usually about unity and harmony. So maybe there's been so many poor communications in a relationship, because this is usually a symbol of like a romantic partnership, but maybe it's also a business partnership that may need a rest because there's been such an imbalance in it, a lot of tension. It could be one sided, but there's a lot of emotional blocks here. So, as a rest, maybe step back from a partnership that has been causing you a lot of stress. Reevaluate, because perhaps you've been avoiding necessary changes that could create a better structure, more stability that needs to be made. But see where there is a like if it's one-sided, perhaps one of you has been putting more effort into this partnership than the other person. So reevaluate who's been giving more or taking more. Maybe you feel exhausted from that kind of argument. There might be some power dynamics, power struggles. Um, what may need to rest is just stepping back to reevaluate what kind of partnership you want with this individual. There might be a third party. And the reason I say this because, again, this person has upright, he's protecting, or she or he is protecting their young, but I'm wondering if they're also hiding something. Like, if that's not important family members that they're protecting, what if this is someone they may be seeing on the side that you don't know about? Um, that could be creating that conflict. So, what will help you keep in balance is the Knight of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords is usually about seizing opportunities. Um, but if this is not charging in head first, then this might be protect yourself against aggression or a sense of arrogance or ruthlessness that might be either coming from you or from the other person. Uh, keep impulsive behaviors under control, act with tact. There might be some bullying that you may need to be aware of as well to protect yourself from. So it's warning for me. It's warning against any reckless behavior because this is all about charging in head first without really thinking. Any self-destructive behaviors due to lack of a self-control. And just don't take things too far without having all of the answers in front of you just yet. So I'm going to pull out some messages here. Nope. Evolve. The cosmic potential flows through you. So perhaps a relationship or partnership, or even yourself, since the Uranus is going to be going through your first house, needs to evolve. It needs to grow, needs to change in order to become a better version of yourself. With Uranus retrograding through your first house, there might be some changes to yourself, like your identity or your appearance and how you want to present yourself to the world. Just be aware that usually with a retrograde, you may not like the changes that you make during that retrograde and after that retrograde ends. So make choices that really align with who you are and not like an impulsive behavior type of thing. Ooh. Well, that wanted to come out then. Luck. Bells of Ireland. Bicolor. Bicolor Commodore. Maybe some of you are Irish or have an Irish heritage. But I'll see what luck says for you. Luck itself is cloaked with mystery and superstition. Sometimes we think the only luck we have is bad luck. And when someone gets a lucky break, their success is attributed to chance rather than all the hard work leading up to that point. The truth about luck is that we must be ready for when it happens, be open to unplanned situations and experiences that may become fruitious occasions. Being in the right place at the right time often comes from planting the seeds that led you there and being ready to seize an opportunity when it comes. Luck is showing its face here to tell you to be more open and to listen for anything that may be nudging you in the direction of your dreams. Be vigilant, ready, and keep planting. So, questions to ask yourself is, what situations can I create to attract more luck? That might be looking at how or what kind of situations uh, need to be changed, need uh, need to evolve, need to be restructured in order to benefit your highest good. It might be what kind of opportunities in a partnership needs to be changed, um, what kind of growth you can bring in, and yeah, good luck through this Mercury retrograde. And I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time, Taurus. Take care.